Hello, my fellow furries, and welcome back to the Otakuology podcast. I'm here with the big bear himself, Mr. Jen Graves,
What's
and
up?
we are
Wait, why am
back
I a bear?
because you're big and hairy.
I'm not that hairy.
We just talked about how last episode we were bears, and we're gonna
Listen, last episode was a long time ago, okay?
It was a week ago.
That tells you how long, how hectic my week's been.
Mine's been just as hectic. Just saying.
Right?
But we are continuing our discussion on brand new animal BNA episodes 3 and 4. Yeah, I think we might have another good one for you guys today. Maybe.
It's better than that other one. You know what? I got you.
What?
Good. Hey guys, thanks for coming to the show. We're covering TP Bon, the next episode.
I didn't prepare for those.
So, if you guys don't know, Mike made an executive decision. Yes,
I did make an executive decision.
He kind of talked about it a little bit last show, but he's told me for sure the decision has been made. That show's boring, and so we will not be covering that one anymore.
It had promise, but I don't think.
Do you think we'll get any haters from it?
I don't know. It got like 12 downloads.
Be like, fuck you guys! I can't believe.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't believe you guys aren't covering that.
It got like 12 downloads, so it wasn't terrible.
Terrible for who?
I don't know. Terrible to the algorithm that we have. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. But we are covering BNA some more.
Yeah, we are.
Which I have to keep catching myself because I want to call it Be an Angel, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with this.
Like D and Angel, that
like
anime
D and Angel, yeah,
from like the 2000 like 90s.
Yeah, so I got to catch myself because I keep wanting to call it Be an Angel, and I'm like, no, it's just BNA, not Be an Angel.
I gotta tell you though, like doing just a search for like BNA, does not bring up the anime. Like I have to type in the whole title. Like BNA brand new animal or BNA anime.
See, I do BNA Beast, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so we're getting to episodes 3 and 4.
We pick up right after the day after the last episode we had.
Right. Where the kids got saved.
Yeah, Michiru gets a rude awakening by the giant rooster cock thing. I forget what his name is.
I was a little confused on that part because I saw him and then I saw him in his human form and I was like, wait, who's that? What animal is that guy? And then I really looked. I had to really focus on it. I was like, oh my God, it's the rooster.
It's the rooster. It's the doctor guy.
Yeah.
The doctor guy and whatnot. He gets woken up and Michiru ends up getting stuck in her room because Shirou gets an unexpected guest from the mayor. The mayor shows up.
You're talking about she goes to his room. He's got a library in his room.
Yeah.
And he ends up, after we find out, because at the end of the last episode, we got her ID from, God damn it, kill me, Grandma. Fucking hate that name so bad.
Which they reference her in this one.
I hate that name so bad.
Yeah.
They get her ID back from her, so Shirou does know that she was once a human.
And I love this scene where he's like sniffing the ID, and it's almost like he gets or we get a glimpse into her past.
Yeah.
Which, we find out she was a basketball player. She's like maybe a high school basketball star.
See, and that's one of the things I really want to know is, did he really see that stuff, or was it just something like he could tell those things and they were showing us the images?
It's very vague, but one thing I did notice when she was with her friend, I don't remember what her friend's name was, but we've seen her friend a couple times
Yeah.
throughout the anime so far. Her friend ends up turning into a beast man before she does it. She gets taken away in a van,
Yes.
which I didn't catch that the first time I watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I must have missed it or looked away or something, but
Yeah.
I did not catch that scene at
Yeah.
first time I watched it.
I caught that scene and I was like, oh my God, your friend and you have some kind of a tie. There's
Yeah.
something, because we also show, like, the scenes that we do have of her, like, they're always close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, whatever. It was something that they did together
Yeah.
and they both got it. And so I'm wondering if it was like in the water or in an ice cream cone that they shared or something like that.
A
Like,
macaroon.
what happened that they both got it?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, we have that stuff. We have where she goes to see Shirou,
Mm-hmm.
and he pushes her in a closet and he goes, you don't need to come out or whatever, because if anybody sees you, they don't need to know that you're human. They don't need any kind of essence to let them know any of that, because you will be under danger.
Like danger, extreme scrutiny, maybe.
Yeah. So he ends up locking her in the closet, and her saving grace is that the mayor came.
Which is the room she already sleeps in. She sleeps in the closet.
No, she's got her own room.
I thought he locked her in the same room that she was already in.
No.
But one thing I did notice,
They have, you know, the end of this episode where they're standing on the little balcony thing together, and there's two stairwells.
Yeah.
She has a little shack that's off to the left of that, and he's got the big room on the right.
Okay.
So he locked her in his closet.
So let me ask you, when she was locked up in the closet,
Yeah.
when she was locked up in the closet and she was yelling through the door, did you notice she slightly transformed into a rooster?
I don't know.
Yeah, she starts
think so.
like the beak of a rooster, and she kind of gets like the thing on top of her head like changes, and she like kind of morphs into a rooster.
I don't know if I saw that or not.
Yeah. I noticed it the second time I watched it. It's kind of blink and you miss it, and if you notice later on in this episode, her ears change too.
I do know that part.
Which I do have a theory because they kind of spoil it. I kind of think she can morph into different animals.
Oh, like she's not just a tanuki?
She's not just a tanuki, because there's a scene in the opening where she's running and you see her feet and it turns like horse feet.
Very, very astute of you.
Yes, I did notice that.
I haven't paid that close attention to the opening besides when I watched the first episode.
Well, I really like the opening, so I kind of watched it a couple times.
Now I'm going to have to pay more attention to the opening for the next episode. I mean, yeah, that'd be really cool because we keep thinking that she's basically a tanuki, you know. But
which I'm okay with. If she's just a tanuki, I'm okay with that.
I mean, you know, but that would be like her having like the partial expansion. I mean, like the arms growing or whatever. That could be like an octopus thing, maybe. I mean, you know, her tail growing big. I don't know what that would necessarily.
I like to call that like the embiggening powers. Yeah, kind of like how Kamala Khan can like stretch and like grow her fists and stuff, almost like Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, she can embiggen her arms and stuff.
I could see that almost being like an armadillo defending itself. You know, like she rolls into the ball. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, and so the mayor comes in, and we have all that where they're talking about it, and she yells for the mayor to get Shirou to let her out.
I love this scene where Shirou is trying to basically act like nothing is going wrong.
What's
when
that
the
noise? What do you mean?
when the
There's
mayor
no
comes
noise.
in, yeah, and he's like, "What's that noise?" She's like, "Get all that stuff out of the door."
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "I don't know
When
what you're
she yells
talking
the second
about."
time, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like his straight man funniness, like the way he does his straight man thing in like comedic uh, um, scenarios is really funny to me.
yeah. I will say I felt like he was better in these two episodes than he was the first two episodes.
Well, in like the first two episodes, he was kind of a psychopath almost,
Yeah, I'd
especially
agree
in
with
the
that.
first episode.
No shit.
He was a fucking psychopath.
Um, but so what's our main girl's name?
Michiru.
Michiru. Um, yeah, because I want to call her by the name of the mink. So Michiru, is also going to go try and get a test from the big hospital that's there. I
Yeah, she
can't
wants
remember the
to.
name of it.
She wants to
And
get him tested about her disease that she might have.
yeah, and we know that it basically got established because of money from some big family that's actually human out in the world.
Yeah.
And the reason why is it's almost because of a grant. And while all of Anima City got built, is because we find out a little later that the mayor not only is like a political person and like knows all this stuff, but actually is a doctor.
She
And
got she's the first beast man to get like a PhD.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we have a little bit of credibility of why the mayor is the mayor, and what her credentials are.
I still want to know what her animal form is.
Yeah, because I still think it's a snake, but I can't remember.
What if it turns out she's just a human?
Oh my god, how funny would that be? That will be probably the biggest time I laugh in this if we find that out.
What if she's just a human?
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But we have where they're going. There was a bomb that was found earlier, and so the police bring, which your guy, old deputy dog,
Scruff McGruff,
Scruff McGruff, brings a bomb that has went off to Shirou to see
a
if
little
they can
tiny
find the
piece
rest.
of it, little tiny piece of the bomb.
Yeah. And somehow he's able to smell it and smell that there are 8 more bombs hidden around the city.
I believe it's 6.
You may be right. I thought it was 8.
I believe it's 6. And there's one extra bomb.
But he knows where all of them are. He tells them where it is. He sends them, and they collect them all as our Tanuki is going to check out the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they know that that's what they're trying to attack.
She goes there with Kuro.
Yeah.
Kuro.
Yeah.
Kuro the crow.
Yeah, Kuro.
Kuro, yeah.
Yeah,
Kuro,
he's got the same name as the dog from Delicious in Dungeon. I was like, what the hell?
Kuro the which he's kind of cool. I like him. I like the little crow guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. I wonder if he's got anything really more special to him than just that or what.
I think he's just a normal crow.
That would be funny too. I don't know.
I just think he likes to hang out with the wolves.
But she sneaks in to the facility, and there is a gang that goes.
It's the gang.
The gang, yeah.
The gang.
Which is, they're under this boss called Flip.
Yeah. And we've seen these guys before. We saw them in episode 2.
Yes.
They're not like new characters at all.
Yes.
And they're trying to get something from the hospital research center, which they get interrupted by.
So they're not getting something. They're trying to drop something off.
Oh, I thought they were getting something.
Yeah. So they're, from what I understood, watching it, they're actually the movers.
Oh,
they're the movers that bring stuff in, and then they take it out, and they basically kind of like, I think, sell it to the outside world or something. That's how like part of the stuff happened.
Okay, I thought they were trying to bring it in for some reason, which they end up getting caught and found out. because
Right.
Michiru in her ears, she grows like bunny ears almost,
Yes.
and they end up sticking out behind a van that he's hiding behind, and they end up chasing her down and stuff. And one thing that we see is the person who is giving them like the product, he recognized Michiru and went to
Yes.
go tell the other like doctors or whatever, and they know Michiru and they've seen her before,
Right.
but they don't say why or how they know her,
No.
which is
And
very
I am
interesting.
like, come on, let us know.
I think they probably experimented on her.
I think so too. I think they probably went to the school,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was her and her friend or what, but I agree with you. I think that's where this stuff comes from.
Yeah, yeah, no, true.
That's why they know her, is because they were the test subjects of something,
Yes.
and we're only led to believe that it was both of them. So I don't know if there's more
I
in their
bet there's
class.
probably more.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but I want to know if there's more in their class or if there was more like on their basketball team.
I bet they're probably making like sleeper cell agents.
Yeah, I mean, they could have like shot a needle into them or something. I don't know.
You know, they're probably like, like the Winter
See,
Soldier.
I really want to know if they gave it to him and it was like they gave it to him in like Gatorade or something. Like, hey, we want you to try this promotional drink, and like it's the whole team. Uh, Now, just her and her friend, though. I mean,
Yeah.
and I guess because you said the macarons, it could be a bakery.
Yeah, you
Uh,
never know.
I mean, but we don't know more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but she kind of leaves. She finds Kuro. Then they go to confront, or not Kuro, Shirou, and then they go to confront the guys for this. Which
Hmm.
this is one of the scenes I think I really love
Yeah, okay.
because um, he's talking to this big guy, big,
Yeah.
big, bulky guy, and Scruff McGruff is there, and they're talking to him. Hey, we need to ask you this stuff, and what's going on because there was a bomb that actually went off in one of the labs.
Yeah. Which the bomb didn't have no scent to it.
Right. So it was detonating all this other stuff, and Shiro says, "I can basically smell everything, but there's something that's missing here," and that's
Yeah.
the reason why this bomb had no scent. And so he kind of leads him into like telling him some more information and whatnot, which I thought was marvelous on Chiro's part. And then he goes, well, the one thing that really is getting me is like ever since like we've been here and we've come back and all this other stuff or whatever, your hands have no scent on them.
Yeah, which the guy freaks out about.
He freaks out, and then we get to see his animal, which is this big rhino.
Yeah, and we get this really cool fight with Shiro and the Rhino guy.
Yeah, and then
Which
the other little guy that recognized our main character, whatever, is a chameleon.
and he's a chameleon. And I love the fight where they're fighting. Like he falls, and then like the guy like catches Shiro, but Shiro's like holding on to his horn. He just uses his sheer strength to just like break the rhino's horn.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And the funny thing, this is the second time we've seen Shiro do this, and
Yeah.
he kind of like has this unanimous line. I feel like almost where he basically undermines Beastman, and he says, you've basically like given up your right as a Beastman and everything. And we saw it in the first episode where he ripped the antlers off of the deer guy.
Yeah.
And this one, he basically crushed the rhino's horn.
Basically
Where,
almost like we're taking away what makes you a beast man.
yeah, we're taking away your status symbol.
Yeah.
I feel like is what it is. Just like if you were to cut a lion's mane, like now he doesn't look like he's the king of the jungle anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was the one that I texted you. I said, whenever you get to this scene, it looks like a trigger scene.
Really? Because
How
I felt like the next couple scenes are very Trigger-esque.
we'll see whenever he threw Shirou out of the window or whatever, or
Yeah.
he jumped out of the window. Like, how everything gets kind of elongated here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in that fight scene, that's where I was like, that's Trigger. you
Yeah.
know.
And
Um,
Michiru ends up getting taken hostage
yes, by the chameleon guy.
by the chameleon guy, and Kuro tries to be a hero, but sadly he gets bitch slapped.
Gets
He's
slapped
not
with the tail.
he's not really helped too much, and we get to see where Michiro tries to get away from her attacker by using her stretchy powers, and
Yes.
she ends up getting tossed off the building. Which I love
Um,
this scene where she
well, I
gets
have a quick question before this one though. What
okay.
did you think of the chameleon guy's demands?
He wanted like a helicopter, right?
He
Like what, like
he wanted
$20,000?
he wanted like $20,000 and a helicopter, and I was like, what is this guy like? We can tell clearly like this guy's like bottom most rung of things. Like
Yeah.
he is not up to be able to demand anything, and he asked for this, and I was like, what are you, a James Bond villain? Like
I mean,
who thinks you're gonna get that? Like you should have been like, I want a helicopter to get out of here, and then you're gonna add icing on the cake and be like, no, I want the money and a helicopter. And
well, I
it's
mean,
like,
they told him like we can't do that.
yeah,
Which I love the little detail where all the police officers are dogs.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
funny. But they're all different types of dogs too, which I really like.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what the like the main police dog's name is, but I like him a lot. Like
Yeah.
he's fun. He's fun.
See, and I really like his design of him in human form and out of human form.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he has, I think, one of the most unique character designs.
Is
Like you
is
can kind of tell like Shiro's would be Shiro. I mean, like almost everybody when they transform in some way, you can kind of tell. His seems like the most unique though.
yeah, it's very has like a noir design to it almost.
Yeah, yeah,
Like almost like Dick Tracy esque or
I'd agree with
pulp
that.
design, yeah.
Yeah,
But I love this scene. So Michiru gets thrown off the building. And this is probably one of the tallest buildings in Anima City.
I think it is the tallest building.
Is it tall? Okay, it is the tallest building. And I love the scene where Shiro runs off the side of it. And I like just the animation of him running. And he just jumps off, grabs her, and like hits the side of the building, rolls off. Like he should be dead.
Oh yeah,
He should be dead, and all he gets is a cut on his face.
he seems like one of those spots that has like 100 like bumps on it, like
Yeah.
road bumps. And as many times as he hit the building rolling down, I was like, oh my god, this
Which
guy's gonna die.
I mean, he should be dead. He fell from like probably over 100 feet. Like he's probably
More
50
than
story
that.
over 50-story fall.
Definitely more. I'd
Yeah.
say probably 50, 60. Yeah.
Yeah, like he fell so hard, and then like he just gets up, and he got the cut on his forehead.
Right.
Which it's funny because she's like, Michiru's like, "Are you dead? Like, are you okay?" Like,
Yeah.
and then everybody's like, "Oh, you need to go to the hospital." He's like, "No, I don't need to go to the hospital."
Well, so this is one of my other favorite scenes that I thought was hilarious because it makes no sense. From them falling down the building and laying there, how did all of those police officers get down in front of the building?
They probably ran down the stairs.
I was like, there's no fucking way that they would be able to get here that fast.
I mean, there's one thing I want to point out in the next episode. I'm like, how did they do that?
Okay.
When we get to it, I'll point it out.
This is the one that caught me off in this episode, though. I was like, all right, they fell down the building. Like, it happened, like, within 5 seconds. Like, how are all these guys all the way at the bottom already?
Look, it's anime logic, okay?
It is anime logic. They're like, we gotta cut some scenes in between.
We gotta go. We gotta hurry us up,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you. What is it like in Japan? The bullet train. They got the bullet elevator in this building. Okay. Woo.
But yeah, everybody gets arrested, or the bad guys do basically. And Michiru ends up becoming a full-fledged citizen of Anima City. So she technically has dual citizenship now.
Which, did everybody get arrested, or did somebody... Because didn't the chameleon guy disappear?
That I do not know. I know one of them got arrested.
Okay, because I think the rhino guy got arrested and the chameleon guy just disappeared.
Maybe. I don't know.
But that's to lead us into the next episode where
Yes.
they're on the docks.
Yeah, this picks up right after the last episode, I believe.
Yeah, where she wakes up, she's like, "Oh, it's such a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful day, and she ends up getting her phone back, or she gets a phone back.
Yeah,
and she goes to gives it to the mayor, and she's like, "Oh, I don't need this anymore."
She does that, the dual citizenship, like you said, and she got because of the incident at the thing, they did something where the city's paying for her housing.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the scene where she gives back the phone. She's like, "I have no use for this because I can only get on one thing. I can't get on social media." We find out that
we have no social media.
The Beastmen can't use the internet.
Right.
The Beastmen are basically what, North Korea?
Something like that.
I mean, all their social media is being controlled.
That's true.
They
have no connection to the outside world,
so to
speak.
So to speak, they have no connection to the outside world. And after Michiru leaves the city hall or whatever, we meet up with the Minx. What was her name? I forgot what her name was.
Mirai? Yeah, that's the one I can remember.
Mirai. She meets up with Mirai, and she's like, "Hey, I got some cell phones for you. I can give you a SIM card. We can get you that human social media network stuff." And she's like, "What? I can't afford that." And she's like, "Hey, can you put it on Shirou's tab? We're just going to make a tab for Shirou."
Which I really want to know how expensive this was.
I know, right?
Because then at the end, when they're on the boat, he says, "You can pay me back." And I was like, how he said it.
Yeah, he was like,
it was a lot.
It was a lot of animal money.
It's $500.
Do you think they have the same money like in human world, or do you think they have like their own currency?
I think they have the same money, because how did the lizard guy ask for?
Oh yeah,
that much if it wouldn't transfer over?
That's true. And go ahead.
But we have where she gets the card, she goes to the park, she starts looking at social media.
She looks at Face
Look,
yes.
Which I thought this was super cheesy,
and it just happens to be her birthday as well.
Yes.
And everybody's wishing her happy birthday on social media.
And then it almost kind of seems, Facebook almost kind of seems like Instagram, per se.
It does.
But it's also like everybody's thing on one wall instead of split up.
Yeah.
So she sees some old things from like her friend that we know is taken, and she remembers stuff about it. But other than that, we don't really know more on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she has a video pop up.
She clicks on a video of this girl, and she finds out that the girl is right behind the statue that she's looking at, and she gets really excited. And
on the top of the video it says live.
Yeah, it says live. Yeah, it's a live video. And Michiru believes that this girl is a human in Anima City, which humans aren't supposed to be in Anima City at all. And she happens to find this girl, and she's doing like some makeup tutorial or something in the middle of a park. Make yourself look good while you're in the park, basically. And when she goes to approach this young woman, she gets knocked out, tied up, kidnapped, interrogated by a seagull who happens to work for the family.
Not a seagull.
He's not a seagull?
No, he's a pelican.
He's a pelican. That's what. A pelican. Yes, you're right. He's a pelican. He's like, how do you know the young lady? How do you know her family? Do you know her dad? And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what's going on? She's like, are you part of that gang? I've seen the gang around town. He's like, what? The gang? I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
he doesn't say that. He remembers
Oh yeah,
she's the one playing dumb because
yeah.
she
She's
didn't
the one playing dumb.
remember,
Yeah.
and then she remembers that he was at the hospital.
Yes. Yes.
So she remembers that he was at the hospital, and he goes, "Yeah, you don't have to play dumb anymore. You knew that."
And we find out that this young woman is the daughter of the mafia boss Flip.
Right. Which
And
we just got a scene before this one, so we got to back up just a little
oh yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
where they are talking to. I'm pretty sure it's the chameleon guy,
You think so?
but he's not in chameleon form, and they beat the shit out of him.
Uh huh.
And Shirou comes in and says, "I need to talk to that guy." And Flip goes, "Oh, well, we're not done with our business just yet."
Yeah.
And you see him reach down in front of this guy, which we didn't see it while they were standing there, and it is a rock tied to
A rope.
a rope around this guy and the chair he's in, and he just hurls the rock into the water, and it takes the chair and it takes the guy and everything else, and obviously we know he sinks. There's blood in the water, which I didn't know if he coughed up or was from his
Well,
wounds.
he was beaten and he had blood on him.
Yeah, so we
What?
do get kind of that scene.
But my question is, so after they do this, they throw him in the water and they leave. Does Shiro go after him and try to save him,
I don't think so.
or he just leaves him in the water?
I think he leaves him in the water because that's where we pan away.
Because that's left very ambiguous, and
Because I
Shiro's
was
just
like,
standing there.
why couldn't he go get him? Like,
Yeah,
and I was like, he could have saved him. Like, it was kind of a long rope, okay? Like, and he's
yeah.
just like, oh, and then Flip tells him, oh no, I guess
He's dead. He's dead.
all of our businesses are done.
Yeah.
Which this episode we do get to know a little bit more of what he is.
He's.
I can't 100% say I know what he
I
is.
think he's like a beluga whale.
See, I don't know. Because his daughter, when we see her, is a seal.
Yeah, no, she's a dolphin.
That's right. She's a dolphin.
But we also get a little genetic history for Beastmen. We find out from the mayor. She tells Michiru, I think before this actually, she tells
Probably.
her that if you have a lion and a tiger and they mate, they don't make a liger. They become either a lion or a tiger.
Right.
So the children's trait takes on one of the parents, not both of them,
Right.
which they show later on. Like one's like a skunk or something and a deer, and they have like a skunk child or something like that. Or it might be a badger. I don't remember.
Yeah. It
yeah.
takes over after one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes over after one of them, which I think that happened here. Like a Flip the whale got with a dolphin.
I think he's a narwhal, or not a narwhal. What's the other one that is a narwhal but without the horn?
It's like a beluga, right?
Maybe.
That's the big white one with the big roundish head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was. I thought he was like a beluga.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
So then he must have been with a dolphin.
Yeah. Which we find out that his daughter is a dolphin beastman named Nina, and she really, really, really loves the human world. She thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
And she gets so excited that Michiru is from the mainland, and they're talking and whatnot. I love this scene where Michiru's trying to figure out like what's going on. And she starts telling her about like her family and stuff, like Nina does. And she's like, yeah, my grandfather was eating it and apparently turned into sushi and eaten with soy sauce.
Yeah.
I
That
was like,
I was like, that's so scarring. What
I
the
was like,
hell?
what the hell?
Yeah. Well, and he looked like a killer whale, or an orca.
I think he was a dolphin.
So I don't. He looked really big though.
Maybe he was a big dolphin.
So I don't know. I figured he was some kind of a whale for sure.
I don't know. But I love the scene where she's like, "Oh man, check out all the human stuff I got that washed up on shore."
Oh
She
my
got like a
god.
flip. She got like a flip phone, a Tamagotchi,
The
and like,
Tamagotchi is what got me. I was like, what the
yeah.
hell?
I was like, these. She's like, yeah, these things washed up, and I was like, well, nobody wants those anymore. Well, that's why they washed up the shore
Right.
and whatnot. Yeah,
And then we had the one earbud.
the one earbud where Michiru ends up remembering a time where she shared an earbud with her friend and they were listening to music and stuff,
Yeah.
which, that was fine. And she remembered that. She starts thinking about how she wants to go home. And we find out that Michiru can actually turn back into a human, which she does.
Right.
She turns back
Which is
into a human.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, See, and this is the weird part. I don't like her human design at all.
I don't really either. I
Which
mean,
is
it's okay, but it's not as cool as her Tanuki design.
yeah, which is weird. Like
I
really
mean, it's
weird.
fine for what it is.
Yeah. Um,
Like,
but
there's nothing like special or stand out. She just looks like a normal anime girl.
yeah. But Nina tells her that there's a party and that
Yes.
she would like to go, so she's like, "Let's go," and they're like, "Yeah, let's go." And she rides on Nina's back to get over to this place,
Yeah.
and she's really freaking out, which we know because of when she was a Beastman there before and what she had to deal with as a Beastman.
Yeah. She ends up like freaking out when a policeman shows up, and she's like, "Oh man, they hunt beastmen," and she's like, "Oh, they're like, oh, be careful, you know."
He's like, "There's not enough lights in this area. Make sure that you guys get somewhere safe."
Yeah. Maybe you get somewhere safe.
And I was like, "That's great. I
Yeah.
love that."
And
Um,
they end up going to the party,
right? It's a
which
Beastman themed party.
yes, which I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this
I thought
like
so too.
so? A part of me thought it was gonna be no, don't take this the wrong way, but almost like a weird like clan rally thing. Because like I thought they were gonna be bad guys.
So I was caught on the fence on this one.
Yeah,
I At first I thought that it was a rally of the bad people
yeah,
and they knew that she was a beastman and they were trying to lure her in, kind of like the people from the first episode.
yeah. That's what I thought was gonna happen too.
And so that happened, and then when they had where she transformed, I was like, "Oh my god."
They're gonna kill her.
And I was like, are they gonna kill her? And then they kept acting like that, and I for sure thought that some kind of shit was gonna happen like that.
Which something does happen.
And them coming at her never do happen.
No,
So,
it never does happen.
but
They
this
just they're
also kind of shows you too, like Nina's like problem, because
yeah.
she's like, oh, you're just jealous that they like me because I'm a beast man, and you're not transformed and all this other stuff, and you're like, no.
Which I like that they give Michiru a costume, which they basically give her ears to put on her head.
Yeah, I mean, she ended up looking like herself
Yeah,
as a Tanuki, so
which
I was
is
like, the
funny.
hell?
Yeah, and she ends up going into. She ends up kind of having an argument, like you said, with Nina and stuff, because the people end up quote liking her and think she's amazing and stuff, because they all thought she was a human at first.
Right.
And Michiru ends up going to the restroom, and she hears people talking about like, "Oh man, I can't believe a beast person's here. Oh, I don't know much about them. They're kind of weird." And she
Aren't they
go,
dangerous?
are they dangerous? And she
Because they're supposed to
leaves.
be half beasts.
Yeah, she leaves, and she's like, "Oh, where's Nina?" And they're like, "Oh, she was
No,
tired."
this is where she goes out on the balcony.
Is it?
Yeah, this is where Shirou calls her and
Oh,
says, "You
yes,
need to make sure that you meet me at the docks with Nina because Flip was ready to start a war with the humans."
because he thought that they captured her, I believe.
Yeah, and Shirou talked him into letting him go to try and get her before anything like that happened.
Yeah, and he had like till midnight to bring her back.
Yeah,
Which after that conversation, Michiru goes to look for Nina, and they're like, "Oh, we thought she ended up getting tired, so we put her in the fish tank
because it was salt water
because it was salt water." Now, this fish tank is big and like cylindrical,
and has no air.
and has no air. How did they get her in the fish tank?
Don't fucking ask me that question.
Like, did they send her to the second floor and like, just throw her in?
I maybe I don't know.
Because it was a 2-story place that they were at.
I also thought it was kind of weird because when she told her that, she had the girl that was hosting the party had this kind of weird conniving smile.
She was like, she's a dolphin. She'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that part kind of really pissed me off in this part because like she did it and said it like with certainty that it was going to
Yeah.
happen that way.
Yeah. And
Like
like,
she was going to be okay.
yeah, she'll be
Nothing
okay.
was there to worry about. And so I still feel like even though Nina at the end of this forgave them and said I can't really hate them, for blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But at no part did I really fucking feel like she was remorseful
No, because they
that
don't
she
say
put
anything
her in the
after.
tank.
After this happens, they don't say anything to them when they
No,
leave.
whenever they leave though, after she
Yeah.
gets her out of the tank, when they leave though, is when she kind of has this like disappointed look on her face. And I was like, I'm on the fence still of if she was really trying to kill her or not.
I think maybe she was just didn't know.
I don't know because the other part is just through the whole thing, like it looks that way.
Yeah.
Like it looks like there's something, and I will be surprised if we come back to it. And
I'm kind
they
of
were
curious. Well, I'm
they
kind
were
of.
they were supposed to be something that at the party,
Yeah.
but the person never showed up. They left before whatever happened was supposed to happen. And I
Maybe. I mean,
kind of
like,
feel like how that's the way it'll lean.
I also feel like the people might have been kind of stupid and didn't know dolphins need oxygen to breathe.
They had to have
I mean,
I,
you never know. You
I
never
don't
know.
know. Like, well, and I mean, I would feel differently if they were sitting there and the girl didn't get the menacing grin on her face when she's like, "Oh yeah, we put her in there," and then it's like evil villain, kind of like side mouth, hi.
But Michiru ends up getting Nina out by embiggening her arm and smashing it through the glass.
Right. And if you're right on this animal thing, then I would say it's probably a gorilla arm that she
Yeah,
had.
something like that. Like her arm gets huge.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. I like how she like transformed and she was like, "Ah!" you know. I thought that was like a really cool scene and
Yeah.
whatnot, and
And it also kind of looked like she went Super Saiyan, which is kind of cool.
almost a little bit when she transformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had that almost Super Saiyan esque like energy behind her and stuff.
Yeah.
But she ends up getting her out and saving her, and they leave. They end up meeting up with Shirou and Mira, and we find out that Shirou knows about the bill. He knows about all the money that she owes Mira and stuff, which is really funny to see. And we also have like this heart to heart with Nina, where like Nina doesn't blame them for what the humans did.
Yeah.
Like she still likes them, like you said.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, and we also get the little part because on the phone, Shirou told her if she wanted to stay, that was fine,
Yeah.
but that Nina needed to come back with him.
Yeah, and you need to come back. Yeah.
And when she got on the boat and they were coming back, like you said, this heart to heart kind of scene that we have, she also said, I don't think my time is done
Yeah.
on in Anima City.
Yeah. She did say that.
So, um,
And then we get left on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
yeah, because we go to the airplane, right?
We go to like the airplane, yeah, and somebody knows about Shiro and Michiru,
Yeah,
and
and
they
yeah,
think they have
about
special
Shira and
powers.
Michiru, and it's the I don't think it's the main guy. It's the son of the family that helped build Anima City.
Yeah, I believe so. They don't tell you who it is,
Yeah,
but they do mention
but
like, oh,
we've
it's been
seen
10 years.
We've seen him a couple times though. Like we
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah,
he's somehow related to the family.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, well, and then we get this kind of little thing where they say one of them is
invincible.
invincible, and that's Shiro, obviously.
Yeah,
Which we're not led to believe anything about that until this point.
yeah,
I mean, we kind of know from him rolling off the building, but we also didn't know that, you know, was something of this until this moment.
yeah, yeah,
And of course, you know, we know that Michiru has the special powers.
yeah.
So I'm kind of
Which,
like, I wonder how this is going to factor in, because did her friend also have some kind of special powers?
yeah,
Or was something that she got more special than that, and it's supposed to be something that's akin with whatever Shiro's got?
yeah, which they never really address that her friend turned into a beastman too.
No, and I keep waiting for her to try and go out and see if she can find her, because I would assume that they think that she's there.
Yeah, because right now she thinks she has like a disease of some kind.
Yeah, but I'm not sure on that.
Yeah,
Um,
not sure.
but what did
I'm
you
s-
think about these two episodes?
I enjoyed them quite a bit. They were fun to watch and rewatch a second time for the podcast.
Out of five?
Um, huh?
Out of five?
Out of five,
Yeah.
a four.
Okay.
Like I enjoyed them. They were
Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed episode 3 a little bit more than episode 4. Episode 4 was very much a quiet episode, almost like a.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was very much like a building up of character, building up Michiru as a character and stuff
Yeah.
and whatnot, and how she interacts with the animals and stuff, and the beastmen and whatnot. Like we're still getting little breadcrumbs for the mystery, which I really do enjoy. And
Right.
I, I hope I'm right. Maybe she was experimented on, or I'll go with my first theory: her mom fucked its Nuki.
Or
Just
vice versa.
saying.
Maybe her dad.
Maybe her dad's
Yeah.
Nuki.
Which, well, I mean, and that's one thing that we know. They just said when beastmen do that.
Yeah,
We don't know if one of them sleeps with a human, what happens.
yeah,
So, I'm going to stick with the rating I gave the last two episodes of
uh-huh.
4.5, because I thought these episodes were really good too. Now, I will agree with you that if we split them up, that there would be a different ranking going on. But I'm still having fun with this series.
Yeah. I'm having fun with it too. I like it that Shiro is very much coming out of his shell more.
Yes.
Because at first he was very much a straight man, and he's coming around slowly. It's slow. And there were
Right.
a couple times where I thought maybe he was a little off model at certain points, but I don't know. Maybe there was just different animation, like team working on it. I don't know on certain parts,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I mean the animation was good nonetheless.
Yeah.
It was trigger anime for sure.
Right.
Sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed these two episodes. Uh, I'm interested to see where things go because they've done a pretty good job of moving the cheese and keeping me interested in the mystery.
Right. Our next 2 episodes is the midpoint, though, right?
I believe so.
Because this is 10 episodes or 12.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look and see.
It's the halftime show.
It's
It's
12.
obviously not halftime.
It's 12 episodes.
Okay, so we'll be at
Yeah.
right before half. Okay.
Oh, so the novel adaptation is actually a prequel to the anime.
Oh.
The light novel adaptation is a prequel.
Hmm. We'll have to
Interesting.
maybe check that out. Who knows?
I don't think it was released over here.
Well, you better start learning Japanese, my friend.
Do you know how hard it is to learn Japanese?
Domo arigato.
Mr. Roboto?
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't released over here yet. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy these two episodes. Looking to continue them and stuff, and hopefully we can get like more side characters to jump in.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah.
here and there. You know, I still think the mayor looks like Cassandra Nova. I do, but I will give you an update. So, a certain somebody was listening to the last episode we recorded.
Yeah.
And you know how I said that they like to text me while they listen to the episode.
Yeah.
They want to know, like, they're like, wait, you want somebody to sit on your face, but you don't want to be choked? Question mark. And I was like, yeah, you can sit on my face. And she's like, no, that's what you said in the podcast. Stupid.
So you forgot what you said for them to message you that?
No, I knew what she was referencing.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Hey, you could have played stupid, okay?
I mean, maybe my response was stupid. I don't know, but yeah. So we know somebody who listens to the podcast, and they said we have potty mouths apparently, and they can only
Well,
listen.
I'll tell you what. For
What?
those mustache rides or whatever, I'm gonna have to charge 13 cents a ride.
I know, right? I mean, that's the perfect amount for a mustache ride, especially if you have like nice like coiffed mustache. You know,
You got a big bushy beard?
you got a big bushy mustache.
Oh my god.
Exactly. You know. But yeah,
Jesus. For
I just
anybody
want to
that
say
doesn't know, Mike almost got a tattoo that said 13-cent mustache rides.
that's true. I did almost do that, which I'm still regretting that I didn't do that.
Hey, you could still go back and do it.
I could still probably go back and do it maybe in a couple weeks or whatever. I don't know. Because soon Friday the 13th is coming back up.
See, look, you got it.
But I just say thank you to everybody who listens to the podcast, I guess you'd say. We have hit our 4-year anniversary for Otakuology. We've been podcasting for 4 years. What?
I said, yes, we have.
Yeah, we've been podcasting for 4 years. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who listens. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on our Instagram at Otakuology or reach out to us on Blue Sky. We're not on Instagram. No, we're not on X anymore. I gave up on that. We're on Facebook. You can rate and review the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Check us out on all major podcast platforms. Give us suggestions on what we should cover next after BNA.
Yeah.
I almost said B stars, and I don't know why.
Because we talked about it last time.
I almost said B stars. Yeah, let us know what you want us to watch next, and we'll cover it. And say thank you. And it's been a fun 4 years, I have to say.
I agree. We'll have to do an unwind episode at some point too, talking about it.
That's true. We'll have to do that. Yeah.
Also, if you're still listening, not only will we see you next Tuesday, but you should also subscribe to Otaku Mike's OnlyFans. You're welcome.
Thanks.